webinar on how you can launch viral campaigns with our API. My name is Udo Kaja, and I head up our go-to-market for our API business. And Vincent is our senior software engineer, and he'll be my co-host. So just going into today's agenda, we're going to cover a few topics. So we're going to provide an overview of the social media campaign for Barbie the movie. We'll talk about how Photoroom can help to create a unique and engaging brand activation. We'll demonstrate our AI solutions for accelerating ad testing and improving return on advertising spend. And of course, we'll leave some time for a question and answer at the end. So before I get into the agenda, I want to share a quick overview of Photoroom. We are the #1 AI photo editor. We process over 6 billion images per year. We've seen 150 million downloads, and we're available across multiple platforms, so mobile, web, and also, of course, now our APIs. And we recently also announced a new fundraising round, which will enable us to continue to deliver the best photo editing tools to businesses. And this is just providing an overview of the brands who are using our API and who trust our API. Now let's get into what we're all here for today. So how can you launch marketing campaigns that customers love? So giving and providing the example of how Warner Bros. Was able to promote the launch of the Barbie movie with the viral social media, I'm going to walk you through a couple of the challenges that they had when they first came to us. So one area was that they were looking to find a fast and high quality solution to remove user-generated content backgrounds and turn that content into captivating and consistently branded Barbie the movie posters that fans would really be excited to share on social media. And because they're a big brand, ensuring that they were able to control and create those high quality images or posters for their fans was really important to them. And they solved their challenge with the Barbie selfie generator, which was powered by our API and which delivered the speed and the high quality and on-brand output that they needed. Here, I'm just showing a quick overview of how the Barbie selfie works. So you can take a picture or upload a picture on the Barbie selfie, and then you're able to toggle and, as a user, make changes to it to personalize it and make sure that your image is positioned properly, and then you can share that on social media. Across a number of attributes for virality, the campaign scored highly. It tapped into the Barbie fans' nostalgia, which really evoked powerful emotions. And it allowed the Barbie fans to take part in the movie by creating, of course, these personalized posters that they could easily share. And it was outside of the box for them, for Barbie. And it was also a campaign that was impeccably well-timed. And as a result, that campaign had strong reach and engagement. So they were able to, they saw 18 million users share their content across social media. And we were able to deliver on speed. So those images were generated in almost half a second per image. And looking at the level of effort that it required for them to create the Barbie selfie generator, it took their developers less than an hour to do so. And now I'm going to pass it on to Vincent so he can share more details, more technical details of how you can create a selfie generator.
Yes, thank you, Udo. So I'm going to walk you through how you can basically replicate the selfie generator that Udo demoed and that was made for the Barbie movie, and to replicate it and to tailor it to your own branding and to your own needs. So first, I just wanted to give a quick recap of how the Photoroom API works at a high level and why it's inherently simple to integrate it. So the way the Photoroom API works is that you make one network call, one HTTP network call sending an input image, which you can see on the left of the slide, and the API will return to you a result image, which is the original image in which the main subject has been cut out. So we have removed the background from the original image, we could say. And what's interesting to see here is that this entire process is just a single HTTP call, so it's quite easy to implement. If you're technical, you know that this takes a matter of minutes to implement, nothing more. And now, if we move to the next slide, we're going to see a demo of what we've open sourced. So this is a project that replicates what Barbie did with their selfie generator. You can see that it's not branded or anything. The idea is to keep it as simple as possible because the goal was to make it open source so that if you want to create a campaign similar to the Barbie one, then you can use this project as a starting point and you can apply your own branding. So you can see that we have the same controls than on the Barbie generator. So I'm just going to wait for the GIF to restart. So if you can restart the video so that we can cover it. Perfect. So the user picks a picture, either on their camera roll or they use the camera of their cell phone. It is uploaded to the Photoroom API. We send back the image without the background. And from there, the user can write a text that gets added into the canvas. The user can reposition, so move, rotate, or scale their picture to put it like they want. And finally, they have a download button to download locally the result and share it on social media. What's important to notice here is that everything that you see happening is happening inside the browser. The only network call is the call to Photoroom API, but everything else, adding the layers before and above the user picture, drawing the text, downloading the image, it's all made inside the browser, which has some nice advantages in terms of not needing to deploy to a backend, but also not needing to deal with a lot of privacy issues because what the user is doing is not leaving their backend, their computer, sorry. And so you would just need to customize this to be able to run your own campaign. So we've put the URL of the code for what I've just demoed you. So it's available on GitHub. It's open source. You can use it. What's included is the code to get an image from the user and make the call to our API, then display the result of the API call. So the image without the background, display it between a branded background and overlay, which is going to add the branded elements to the result image. Then being able to move, zoom, and rotate the subject to position it as the user sees fit. Being able to draw a custom text. And finally, being able to download the result locally. And so as I was saying, you are free to reuse this code as a starting point to create your own selfie generator. We've written it in a way that it should be as easy as possible to customize and integrate. You would basically need to replace only images and fonts and some colors. And I will show you an example of how you could do that just after. The code only uses vanilla JavaScript APIs, so no third-party libraries. There is no dependence that you will need to implement. And the code is only around 200 lines of code, so something that is pretty manageable to ramp up in terms of picking up the skills to update the code. And so here you can see an example of this open source demo in which I have applied the branding of the Barbie campaign. So for this, I simply applied the branded background overlay, the correct font, and the correct text color, and that was it. And it took me a matter of minutes to implement this. So as you can see, if you want to run such a campaign, not only can we provide through our API, through the Photoroom API, the means to quickly remove the background from an image, but we can also provide you the starting point to actually implement your selfie generator that your user will be interacting with.
Great.
And I think this is back to you, though.
Yeah, thanks, Bansad. And so the great thing is that, the possibilities are endless. So we've seen brands like Netflix use our API to introduce TV shows. So you'll see on the left on the screen a website that integrated our API called You Are Awful. and they did that for the Black Mirror TV series. Expendables 4 also used our API for generating content for Expendables 4. And Hennessy generated a hype for an exclusive event. In this case, it was the 50th hip hop anniversary, which they used to generate personalized or hyper personalized posters for hip hop fans. And next, I will go into I'll just quickly review another use case for creating ad assets with our API. So of course, now we've spoken about brand activations, similar to what Barbie as well as Hennessy and Netflix have done. But there's also another use case for creating ad assets that you can use on Facebook ads or Google Shopping campaigns. And I'll show you how you can create a preset for this ad campaign. So essentially, we started off with this image, and we want to land here. And the particular thing that I want to do is figure out how I can position this image into the template and be able to do that rather than do just for one image, but I want to be able to do that for thousands of images in seconds. And that's something you can do with our API. So starting off, you can use our sandbox, which I've provided a link to here. And you can use that to position an image. For example, in this case, I will just show you how we did that. So in this demo, I'm on the playground. And what I've done, first of all, is you can select from a number of images. And in this case, I'm selecting the model. And what I'm doing is I am going through a bunch of things. So changing the background to make it transparent, adjusting the positioning, and also adjusting the padding to be able to basically position the model in that appropriate position for the ad. And then I adjust the size, and you can also click on the advanced toggle button there to just debug and look at and make sure and validate that you've positioned the object properly. And the last thing you can do is copy the code based on the language for your website or tool, and then you can basically have this as a preset that you can apply to thousands of images. And if I go over just to give you a bit of flavor for how we've used this, so we conducted an ABC test on Facebook using different ad image variants to determine which one would deliver the highest performance. And so what we did was that we started off with a seed image, and we were then able to use our API to generate multiple images with different backgrounds to be able to see which would deliver the highest performance in terms of cost per click, as well as in terms of click-throughs to the ad. And what we're able to do was narrow down on the winning ad image variant, and we have more information on this page that I've linked here. And essentially, you can imagine just using our API to scale your ad testing quickly and to be able to generate those high quality images that you can use. And what I'm going to do is just walk you through a few resources. In this case, it sounds like you've already signed up, so you're probably aware of this idea that you need to sign up and then enable your API key, and then you're free to use our sandbox or playground to be able to create presets and generate your integration codes that you can apply to your tools. And then if you have any questions, sounds like you've already interacted with Vincent, but yeah, of course you can continue to do that. And with that, I am just going to go into a Q&A to see if you have any questions